Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. Today we're going to talk about Raw, March 10th, 2025. Started off with Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller. They had an altercation last week, so here's some payback, I guess. Jey Uso ends up winning. Austin Theory jumps Jey Uso. Both Jey Uso and Grayson Waller both started beating up on Jey Uso. Jey Uso pretty much super kicks and spears and pretty much gets rid of both of them, and Gunther comes in behind, does the sleeper hold and knocks Jey out. There's nothing more to say about that. Okay, let's move on. We have Logan Paul comes out to a crowd of boos. I don't know exactly what he was trying to say because the crowd was so loud and they were booing the shit out of him. They were in Madison Square Garden, by the way. I was talking about, from what I remember or what I can hear, talking about how Cody Rhodes is an idiot and that Cody Rhodes should have sold his soul. You know, don't be like John Cena. John Cena probably figured it out that he needed to sell his soul, and took him 20 years to figure that out, and that he told The Rock that if he wants his soul, he can buy his soul anytime he wants. He ain't gonna wait 20 years. He ain't gonna wait 20 minutes. Go ahead and buy my soul, right? And then he goes out to the outside the ring and starts asking the crowd something, and then he starts talking to some comedian named Andrew Shorts or whatever, I don't remember. And basically, I don't know where he asked him, but the comedian guy was like, we came here, this is New York City, and the audience don't want to see you or something like that. We want to see a real wrestler. We want to see AJ Styles. Oh, that's right. He came out there to like basically talk shit about AJ Styles. That's what they were there for. I couldn't remember. I couldn't hear. Anyways, so Logan Paul did not like that, so he throws the a comedian over the barricade and then throws him in the ring, and he's about to do something. Here comes AJ Styles, and AJ Styles comes in for the save and does this the phenomenal forearm and pretty much beats Logan Paul, and Logan Paul ends up going out the ring and going up the ramp, and AJ Styles like, come back here and fight. This is New York and everything else. And eventually he raises up the comedian's hand, and said, this is New York, and then they cheered and had fun, hugged out and whatever, and Logan Paul left with his tail between his legs. This is probably gonna be your WrestleMania match. Probably night 1, I can imagine. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Can't wait to see it. You had a tornado tag team match with the New Day versus LWO's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This was really good. I really enjoyed this match. Eventually, there was a man in a mask. I don't know who it was. People say it could have been Chad Gable, but he was wearing a mask. I don't know. He comes in and he pretty much does some kind of like this attacks Rey Mysterio with some Lucha Ray wrestling moves, I guess you could say. Again, I don't know who it was. It kind of looked like it could have been Chad Gable, but he was wearing a mask. I don't know who it was. Anyways, it leaded up to the New Day doing the Midnight Hour and getting the pin over Rey Mysterio. So this mystery man caused them the match. Whoever that mystery man was. I don't know if this leads to anything. I don't know if the mystery man is gonna do something at WrestleMania with the New Day, or LWO is gonna be on the New Day. I don't know. There was an interview backstage that I think it was Kathy Kelly was like telling Chad Gable, you know, you basically interfered in the New Day and the LWO's match, and he's like, that wasn't me. What are you talking about? And then they had like a person who was dressed up the same as the person that was in the ring. Again, with the mask on. Again, I don't know who it was. Can't tell you. Anyways, I don't know what's gonna happen with this. I don't know where they're going. I don't know if there's gonna be a WrestleMania thing or what. I'm just gonna assume that everything that's happening from now on is just going to lead to WrestleMania. Anyways, moving on. Cody Rhodes was at Raw tonight. He basically talked about John Cena and how John Cena is not going to get number 17, and basically he is the captain now. That was pretty much. I mean, he said some other things too, but I'm shortening it. I'm tired. Anyways, let's move on. So earlier, the Judgment Day had a segment backstage where they were talking about how Raquel, if Raquel beats Bayley, she'll have an opportunity to be the number 1 contender for the women's IC title. And they're like, oh, that's great and everything else. And Finn Balor was talking about how Braun Breaker pretty much speared all the men in Judgment Day. And Dominic Mysterio comes in and he's basically like, I got you a match for the IC title next week against Braun Breaker. So that was pretty much it. So then you had a match with Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley. Raquel ends up winning due to the help of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. So it'll be Raquel versus Lyra Valkyria at some point for the IC title. I don't know if Bayley comes in and interferes. I don't know if Raquel wins. I don't know if Lyra lose. I don't know. We'll see. I don't even know if this is going to be like, I don't really think it's going to be a WrestleMania match. I think it's going to be a regular match. I'm not sure. They might have mentioned it. Again, I'm tired and I wasn't really paying that much of attention. Anyways, moving on. Michael Cole interviews Io Sky, basically congratulated her, telling her that, you know, she won and everything else. Io Sky said she feels insignificant because even though she is the champion, no one's really paying much attention to her and everything else. And then you have Bianca Belair comes out, and Bianca Belair is like, you know, basically like, I need to congratulate you and everything else, blah 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 blah. And then Rhea comes out and she's like, and Bianca Belair is like, the reason why I didn't acknowledge you or anything to Io, right, or whatever, some shit like that. And then Rhea comes out and Rhea's like, what's the reason? What was the reason, right? Like, what was the reason why you were even at ringside last week? Like, are you afraid that you rather go after Io because you can't beat me? And I'm thinking to myself, why would she not be at ringside during a championship match? She needed to know who she was fighting for, or fighting against, rather. Sorry. But she needed to know who she was fighting against. Like, why would she not be out there? Right? And I'm just like, come on, Rhea. Wait, are you alright, Rhea? Are you okay? Anyway, she's like, are you afraid of me? And she's like, Bianca was like, I'm not afraid of you, right? He says, why were you cheering? It's like, why were you clapping for Io? And it's like, and basically Bianca Belair is just like, don't you? And then Rhea's like, don't you have other problems of your own that you need to be taking care of, like with Naomi and Jade? And Bianca's like, oh, really? Like, you're really gonna go there? You're gonna low blow me, whatever, you know? It's like, what? And Io's just sitting there, like, just trying to be like, hey, but it's about me. Like, I'm the champion. And, you know, he's like, and then Rhea says something like, oh, you don't want to fight me or anything like that. And all that stuff. And Bianca's like, do you hear yourself? Like, you're mad that I was clapping for Io? Doesn't that sound crazy to you? I'm thinking to myself, yes it does. He's like, yeah, well, you're always, then Rhea's like, well, you're always hiding behind Naomi and Jade. I'm like, when is she ever hiding behind Naomi and Jade? No, Rhea, really, are you okay? Are you okay, Rhea? Like, seriously, what are you talking about? When has Bianca ever hid behind, like, Jade or Naomi? Like, never. When did that happen? Like, seriously, are you okay? And then Bianca's like, well, they're not here right now. As they're talking, right, they're talking to each other. Io Sky is like coming up to each of them and trying to get a word in. And, you know, Rhea pushes her and everything else. And she's like, get out of here, right? And then Bianca, and then she comes back, and then Bianca Belair is telling Rhea she's acting childish, and then And then Io's trying to talk to Bianca, and Bianca's like, no, get out of here, right? Like, I'm talking to her. Like, like little, like the two big sisters are like this, just shoving little sister away. Kind of shit, right? Right? And they're like, well, let's fight. You want to go? Let's go right now. Like, I don't care. Let's give a shit. Let's go, right? And then Io goes in there and she pushes them apart. She slaps Rhea, and then she slaps Bianca, and then she says some shit in Japanese and basically said, I'm the champ. I'm the champ. It's me. You should be paying attention to me. I'm the one. And she just starts like yelling and screaming in Japanese. I don't know what she said because I don't speak Japanese. When she goes out the ring, you have Rhea on one side of the ring and holding her face, and then you have Bianca Belair on the other side of the ring holding her face and looking at each other. I don't know how they're gonna put this into a triple threat match, but it's a coming. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. I cannot wait for this match. That was an actually good segment. Anyways, so let's go to the last thing I'm gonna talk about, which was the main event. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk in a steel cage match. My goodness, what a great steel cage match. Unlike the other steel cage match I didn't watch, but I did see a stream talking about at AEW they had a steel cage match where there was this blood and people were like licking each other's blood, and there's like more blood. I'm like, what is up with AEW and the fucking blood? If you want to watch a great match without the blood, then I suggest you watch this match. This was incredible. The one thing I didn't like, I'm gonna get on my Tim right now and kick out of finishers. It's called a finisher for a reason. Stop kicking out of finishers. Don't call them finishers no more. From now on, we're gonna call them PF. Possible finishers. It's possible that this might finish the match. It's possible that this might finish the wrestler, so it won't be able to kick out or submit. Anyways, there were some cool spots. They had a spot where Rollins suplexed CM Punk on top of the cage. They each did their own like finishers. Punk stops Rollins GTS's Punk, and then does like, again, they're kicking out of each other's finishing moves back and forth, right? At one point, Seth Rollins is down, and CM Punk had the opportunity to leave and then leave the ring, leave the cage, and then Seth Rollins is like, what are you doing? Like, you want this? You want all this? You need to earn it. Come on, you asshole. And I'm like, wow, he just said the asshole word. I'm like, okay, we just cussing up in here? I mean, it's Netflix, I guess it's cool. So he's like, asshole. By the way, I did not watch this live, so I watched this after the fact, a couple of hours after the fact, actually. So he's like, asshole, and then CM Punk comes back, and they start fighting again, and then Rollins does a stomp from the second rope to CM Punk. Now Seth Rollins is by the cage door, like sitting there in the corner on like against the ropes, looking at Punk, and the camera is focused on Rollins. Now I'm into this, right? I'm into this fight. So much so that I did not hear the crowd shout OTC, right? And I'm just like, I hear the crowd shouting. I hear the crowd getting louder. I just don't know why they're getting louder, because I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying. But they were shouting OTC, right? And then you have someone open up the cage door and just pulls Rollins out. The bell rings. Rollins beats CM Punk. CM Punk looks at the person who pulled Rollins out, which was Roman Reigns, which was pretty much figured it would be. And he's looking at Roman like, what the fuck, dude? Like, again, like, I'm gonna get screwed by the freaking old Shield. Like, why am I getting constantly screwed by these fucking two guys, right? Mostly about Rollins, but anyways, Roman ends up spearing Seth and then pretty much kicked his ass and around the ring and everything like that, and basically talking shit like, oh, you're about to take me out? I don't think so, right? I'm gonna take you out. And it was gonna do a stomp on Rollins against on top of the stairs like Rollins did to Roman at Royal Rumble, but before he could, the Adam Pearce and the officials stopped him and everything else, so Roman just pretty much stepped back. And then Roman Reigns took a look over at the ring, and to his surprise, he saw Paul Heyman and CM Punk, and CM Punk had like his head on Paul Heyman's shoulders, and Paul Heyman was insulting his friend, and stuff like that. I think Roman saw red on his bloodline. So, and he was like, oh, what the fuck is going on over here? And he didn't say that. I'm pretty sure that's what's thinking in his mind. What the fuck is going on over here? So he goes and he slowly walks into the cage where Punk and Heyman are, and he pulls Punk off of Heyman, spears Punk, and Heyman looks scared as shit, like, oh my gosh. I'm thinking to myself, oh, Roman, aren't you overreacting just a little bit? Like, you could have just asked, be like, what's going on? Like, ask questions. Like, no, you're just gonna just spear him just like that. And I'm thinking, oh, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is how we get a triple threat at WrestleMania, probably for night one's main event. Because I remember saying this, I don't know if I said this in a video. I know I told Tim this when we talked, but I can see I don't know, I didn't have 2 triple threat matches in WrestleMania. That's crazy. I can see this happening, being a triple threat, because where do you go? Where does Punk go from here? Like, we were like, I don't mind Roman versus Reigns, but now you added CM Punk as one, you screwed him over, and then you speared him. Don't know what they were talking about. Could have asked, man. You could have just asked questions, right? Questions are great, Roman. And so I can see a triple threat happening here. I can see some sort of jealousy with Roman, being that, Punk and Paul Heyman are close friends. Just because like CM Punk CM Punk did not help Roman during that whole Survivor Series at War Games. CM Punk helped his friend Paul Heyman. That's what he did. So I know a lot of people don't want to see a Punk versus Roman. I'm like, we're not really. We're getting a triple threat match, though, right? Rollins will be there too, but I know people don't want to see that. Personally, wanted to see this Roman and Seth, but if this is how we get Punk to get his triple threat match, if that is the favor for WrestleMania to main event, I am all for it. But it was a great ending. It was kind of a dull Raw. I mean, they have the Cody Rhodes thing, and the Rhea thing was pretty cool, and then of course the main event, but everything else was kind of like, could have done without. Anyways, I am so sorry if I sound sick. I am sick. I'm tired. I've had a really bad day. Well, actually my day was great. It wasn't until like after like 4 o'clock it just got bad, but things will probably get better. I'm probably just overreacting and stuff like that. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna put on the other videos. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But probably not. I have some stuff I need to do personally, and I'm kind of busy this week. I will be doing a SmackDown review for sure. I might cover NXT, because this is the match between Stephanie Vancouver and Julia, because they're doing a title versus title match, so I might watch that. I might talk about that on Wednesday. Anyways, not sure yet, but keep a lookout for it. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.